Me now is Congressman Derrick Van Orden, a Republican from Wisconsin. Congressman, good to have you with us. And I'm just going to cut right to the chase here. What the heck's going on in the Pentagon right now?
What's going on in the Pentagon is that you have a change agent running the Pentagon for the first time in a very, very long period of time. And the entire structure, the deep state and the folks that have been siphoning off trillions of dollars over the years are coalescing together to make sure that they can do everything they can to get Pete Hegseth out of the Secretary of Defense chair because he's scaring the crap out of him, because he's bringing lethality back to the military and he's putting aside all these bureaucrats. That's exactly what's happening.
So these people that are getting fired, sort of his inner circle, do we know who was responsible for hiring and vetting these individuals?
No, I sure don't. And to me, it's absolutely irrelevant. Here's what is relevant. You have to be able to have frank discussions amongst professionals so that you can come up with the best potential solution to do the most good for the most people. And you cannot have a frank discussion if you think that person, in this case, did go leak information to the press. The time for this stuff is over. This is not show. This is not show friends. It's show business. And if those guys leaked that on purpose, which apparently they did, they have no place working for the Department of Defense.
No, I'm with you 1,000%. I actually believe this is probably one of the most important jobs in the Trump administration right now. I mean, when you look at the fact, what, 2/3 of reserve forces are not even physically fit. I'm glad at what Hegseth is doing, but man, the amount of pushback he's getting from inside the Pentagon is off the charts.
You only get flack when you're over the target. So the entrenched bureaucracy in the Pentagon is in the process of being broken, and it's painful for them, and it should be, because they've forgotten that it's not about them. It's not about the Pentagon. It's not about an individual service. It's about the United States of America and the citizens that I swore to protect and defend vis-a-vis the Constitution for over 26 years. So the Pentagon, the people at the Pentagon have begun to think over the decades that it's about the Pentagon, and it's not. This is not a self-licking ice cream cone. This is supposed to be a lethal machine that destroys our enemies.
I want to highlight your response to the critics of Hegseth, and here's what you wrote on X. I don't want to hear from any healthy American that was a fighting age on 9/11 who did not join the military and deploy to combat, talking about Pete Hegseth. Look, you and going on to say you had your chance to serve our nation when she needed you, and you did not stand down. The Warriors will take it from here. Look, 1,000% accurate, Congressman. And look, they're scared of this guy, and I think that's why they're coming after Pete.
That's exactly why they're doing that. And the reason I wrote that tweet is for a very specific reason. It's time for the people that have been to war and have seen the ravages of war and have had their friends killed in war and other friends commit suicide because of what they did during the war. It's time for us to be in charge. Enough of these folks that have been sitting behind these wonderful gilded desks sipping cocktails in erudite discussions in Georgetown. We need people who've got dirt underneath their fingernails to run this, so that we do one thing. We avoid war at all costs. But if we have to get involved in a war, we fight to win, and then we come home. We have the most highly educated and powerful military in the history of the planet, and we have not won a war in 80 years. It's time for a change. The change's name is Donald J. Trump and Pete Hegseth.
And Congressman, real quick, on that note, I mean, this is a story that we haven't had a lot of coverage about in the national media, but the military, the Army, has already reached, 85% of its recruitment goal for 2025. What do you make of that?
We needed two different things. We needed a president that cared about America, and we needed a Secretary of Defense that is going to put lethality for the warfighter, protecting American citizens and our allies over everything, including all the petty politics that Lloyd Austin played while he was Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. All right, Congressman, we have to leave it there. Always appreciate you coming on, and great tweeting, sir.
Good to see you. Take care.